Yo, you in the place to be, man. This is the Empire Sports Network, the Sports Empire Network with the big dogs on campus. Yo, I'm Big Cobby. That's Big Dog Shane, Big Dog Cam. We in the building, man. It's the Big Dog Show, world premiere show. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with your boys this morning on this college football Saturday. We're getting ready for a new football season. Hey, I know you jacked up. If you like me, man, you geeked up. You don't need no caffeine. You don't need no PEDs. You just in the building ready to get it cracking, man. Big Dog Shane, what's up, man? How you doing this morning?
I'm all right, man. Like he said, thank y'all for tuning in to Big Dogs on Campus with Sports Empire Network. Let's get it.
Big Dog. Big Shane, what's cracking? Big Cam, what's up, bro? What's up, bro?
Hey,
I see
how y'all
a
doing, man?
jersey down there. What's going on with you, man, down there?
Wait, man, I gotta. Even though I'm in Florida, I gotta rep the boot. I gotta rep Big
Oh man.
JB. Gotta rep him. Gotta rep him.
All right, man. So let's take a moment, man, wherever you at. Go ahead and share the podcast with your peoples. Let them know we in the building. Take a moment, man, where you are. Go ahead, jump on the podcast with your boys. We're gonna have 1 hour of college football for you. Take this moment right now and share, like, let everybody know the big dogs are on campus, man. Hey, man, quick to the point. We only got an hour. It's gonna go by quick. We're talking about college football, and I know we got a lot to say because it's a brand new season. Whenever football season comes, you got to get a little jacked up, man. No matter what level you played at, or what level you coached at, or your level of fandom, you got to love this, man. And then like college football, it's the last pure form of football, if you ask me, man. These kids still playing for the love of the game, even though money is a big deal now with the NIL deals. Hey, man,
hmm
first and foremost, man, let's off the top, man. Who you represent today? What's your team, man? What team you represent? Roll call. Anybody on the Facebook Live on the stream? What's your team? Type it in the comments. Big Shane. Who you represent, man? Give me your top team, man. And a couple other teams you look at that, man.
yeah, so I'm out the boot. So, my number one team is the Bayou Bengals, the Bayou Bengals, LSU Tigers.
Ah,
Uh,
Nobody Bengals.
I think
Yeah,
another team that
I ain't
intrigues
being
me and I
good since
always root
Burrow, but
for.
it's all good.
Whoa, whoa, we can't do that. I
Oh
mean, we
man,
we we in
don't be
we
a
in the real we in the rebuilding
don't be a
stage. We're in the
homer.
rebuilding stage. Oh, that's definitely. I mean, we're heading in the right direction as a whole program, not just in college football. I mean, we brought Jay Johnson on. We brought Kim Mulkey on, who is a top three college basketball coach, women's college basketball coach as of right now. And then you bring BK, who's one of the most winningest active coaches in college football right now. So I think we're trending in the right direction, but it's uh it's still got some work to do.
So who you guys got coming in? Like what's on? I mean, I believe Cam is the same boat. Cam, who you representing today? What's your squad, man?
It's same as Shane, man. From Louisiana, so I definitely gotta go with LSU.
Hey,
Born and
man.
raised on the purple and gold. Gotta stick with it forever.
Oh, I got a question, man. Why doesn't LSU wear the purple jerseys that often, man? Why is it so rare to see them in purple?
I don't know, but I love it. I wish they wore it more.
I like the
You know,
purple jerseys myself.
yeah,
Hey,
for sure.
hey, man. I actually love the LSU Tigers, man. Matter of fact, one of my hometown boys down here in Long Beach, California, down in Austin, 5-star cornerback going to the league, going to LSU. Talked to him the other day at the photo shoot out here on the West, man. So I told him, hey, it's a straight shot to the league, man. LSU cornerbacks go to the league, and he was like, yeah, that's the plan. If the NIL deals ain't too good for him to stick around, he might just parlay a little bit up there. And make sure you share. Right now, the Big Dogs Alive. I'm going to go ahead and share this to my personal page. Let's see. Let me share it to
Hey
my
Freddie,
show,
we can't
AC
be
Sports
doing that.
Live. What do you say? What a big Fred? We got Big Freddie
As
Henderson in the
you
house.
said,
Roll Tide. Oh my.
no, we can't be
Oh,
doing that,
oh man,
Freddie.
we ain't even got to that part of the show yet. We're not ready for that yet. We're not going there just yet. Roll Tide. Nah, man, we can't disrespect the Crimson Tide, man. Let me see. Let me try to share this. Share it. Get you a link. Paste it to your page, man. We appreciate y'all love, showing the dogs some love. The only rule we have on the Big Dog on Campus show is that you represent like a big dog. Whatever you say it with your chest, from your diaphragm. Say it what you like you mean it. You got a comment, you got a hot take, say it with your diaphragm. You got to hold to it, stand by it. Don't be wishy-washy, man. Come like a big dog. Bark. Like I said, man, no purse dogs, no chihuahuas, no multi-poos, none of these designer dogs. They mixing the chihuahua with a Doberman, and they got a big old head and a little bitty body. There's a dog across the street. They be walking down the street, man. Pit bull with a big old head, and they said, "No, he's designed to stay small." I said, "His head is bigger than his body, man." They
Can't be doing all
think that through, man. They didn't think that part through. All right, man. We got a few topics today, man. Of course, represent who you with, who you roll with. But first things first, man. We got recruiting classes. Every off season is crazy. This off season was really crazy with the NIL deals. Off the top, man, who is the most? Which team had the most intriguing recruiting class? I'm gonna go with you, Big Cam, first. Most intriguing recruiting class.
You gotta go, even though it's gonna hurt my heart saying it. You have to go A&M. They go from not having a top 10 class forever to number one. That and it what makes it so crazy is as soon as the NIL deal stuff happens, they jump to number one, and it makes you kind of scratch your head a little bit, like what all are they doing? But I mean, I don't know. I smell something fishy when it comes to it, but when the season comes, we definitely gonna see.
Hey man, it's the Big Dog on Campus show, man. What you think? What's the speculation? What is Nick Saban preaching the gospel? Did A&M purchase this recruiting class? What you think?
Most definitely. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. They had how many the past few seasons? They've had how many 5-stars? It was nowhere close to being double digits, and now they have, like I said, the number one recruiting class. It's gonna make sense when all these kids hit the transfer portal in the next season or two. That's like when they realized Jimbo got the team, they were 8-4 in the Music Bowl, and then since he's been there, they've been 9-4 in the exact same bowl game. Ball doesn't lie. That's what it comes down to. Ball doesn't lie.
Ball don't lie at all. So we got 5-star Walton Nolan, 5-star Shamar Stewart, 5-star Evan Stewart, Sharp, 5-star Overton. They got all these 5 stars going to A&M. It's not even like a mystery right now. If there was no NIL deal, now what we won't know is the amount and how deep it is. I'll say this: A&M got that oil money.
They do.
Let's leave it at that. Oil money trumps land money. Bama got land money. We got landowners down in Bama. We own land. Well, down here in Texas, we got oil money, Jared Jones style. Let's see if A&M. When does A&M play Bama? That's what I want to know.
That's I don't know, but it's gonna be live.
Yeah, bro.
I got Bama by 25.
You got Bama by 25. Oh, I'm gonna have to put $2 on that.
Saving about the yes, sir.
Saban gonna do it. All right, Big Sam. You on the spot anyway. You already chimed in. So what you think? What you got going on with the most intriguing recruiting class? Who you want to see?
I mean, I think there's only one option here, and that's Texas A&M. Again, I'm gonna have to piggyback off of what he said, man. They pulled in.
What's up with the Aggies, man? Everybody.
I mean, 8 5-star recruits. You can't. I mean, it's the most intriguing. They have 8 5-star recruits coming to them in the 2022 class. You've got 7 of the top 25 guys in the country committed to you from this class. That is
I don't know,
absolutely insane.
man.
That is
It's like
absolutely insane.
I
You've
could.
got, like you said, you got Walter Nolan, the number 2 player in the country, Shamar Stewart, the number 9 player in the country, Evan Stewart, the number 11 player in the country, and you got Lebius Overton, if I'm not mistaken, reclassified to the 2022 class because he was supposed to be 2023 and reclassified, and he was going to be like the number one. He's going to be like the number 1 prospect in the 2023 class, but reclassified, which is absolutely insane.
Whenever
I mean,
you gotta your red flag gotta go up when somebody reclassifies. He was like, hold on. Y'all paying what? And my dogs is going too?
Mm-hmm.
Hold
hell
on.
yeah,
How much? A
I
bag?
yeah.
haven't seen so many people reclass than this
Hey,
class come. Like so many people were jumping into it. It's crazy.
hey man, I got 1 year of eligibility left. They giving out these bags. I'm gonna go back here. They need a backup. They need a backup safety, a gimpy corner. I can slide in there and give them about 10 plays if they're giving
What?
out bags. I don't need a whole bag. Just give me half a bag. Give me a little bit of bag.
I'll just cover. I'll cover deep thirds. That's it.
Yeah,
Just
heck yeah. Just get.
give me my assignment, and I'll make it happen.
I say, hey, Big Cam, get deep. Don't get deep. Don't get big deep. Don't get big deep. Hey, for me, man, of course, A&M's intriguing. I want to see them guys play. But I want to see JSU, the Jackson State. You guys down there in Louisiana. I want to see Jackson State and Travis Hunter and them guys, man. And I want to see them incoming guys that Deion Sanders brought in because he just called one of our kids down here in the West Coast. They had lost their center last week. And we had a 3-star center at a local high school, didn't get a ride. Brian called him up, said, yo, you still available? We have a scholarship for you. And I was like, man, Prime doing it like that? He said, yeah, get ready. You're going to be starting in 2 weeks in the game. I was like, what? So got Jackson State Tigers and the HBCU. I want to see what Deion does with his incoming because the hype that Deion Sanders has manufactured down there, man, has changed the ball game when it comes to HBCUs competing on a high level with top recruits. So I would like to see how the 2, 3, and 4 guys he got to go along with Travis Hunter, his 5-star, just to see if they play another brand of ball. Because the trenches is where it's questionable if you got enough depth in the trenches to compete on a high level. We know what A&M's going to do with with the money they got down there. They are now on a level playing field with Saban and Jimbo. I mean, with what's our guy's name in Clemson? Is it
Dabo?
Dabo.
I'm like Jimbo, Dabo, all them cats, all the Bows that got all this money and get any recruit they want. I'm intrigued to see it.
My only thing is with Deion, and everybody's wondering if he's going to go to a bigger school next, or in the next couple of seasons. Like people were thinking he was going to go to Florida State. And I feel like when he does get a next coaching job, all his recruits are going to follow him. So like it's him building at Jackson State. I feel like they're gonna leave after.
Well, put yourself in Prime shoes. You build what you got to build, but when that phone call comes and they offering you everything you wanted in life, when an opportunity checks boxes, you can't be mad. And I'm hoping that Prime is preaching this to his kids because I'm coaching. I preach to my kids that in life, man, you got to go for what's for you. I'm a spiritual guy. What God has for you is for you, man. If an opportunity, if his dream job is FSU, it has to be the perfect situation. I don't think Prime's from Jackson. So that's realistic, man. As long as he's not saying I'm never going to leave, which is not true. Y'all remember when Nick Saban left? He left LSU, didn't he? Didn't Nick Saban leave LSU?
We were just talking about this the other night on a Bama Dudes podcast. Yeah, he was saying, "Oh, I'm not going to leave. Not going to leave." Left to the NFL. Went to the NFL. I am not going to be taking the Alabama job. What did he do?
Take the Alabama job.
Took the Alabama job, and the rest is history.
All right, we got some folks on the line. He said, let's talk about Florida Gators and the recruiting Napier have been doing. Let's not.
That's mine and Shane's buddy Kayvon. So yeah,
Kayvon Moore, appreciate you, man. Hey, the Gators gonna be good for once in a while. I mean, they've been what was it who was the guy for the longest Muschamp or somebody? They ain't been relevant since Urban Meyer.
Well, yeah, then they brought in Dan Mullins, thinking Dan Mullins was the savior.
Dan Mullins,
Dak Prescott, and then he comes in and underachieves. So now they got Billy Napier over there, and I ain't gonna lie, the 2023 class is shaping out pretty well. They have 17 commits already for that 2023 class, which is unheard of already. I mean, you only got 25 spots, so it's 30 spots including your transfers, or 32 spots including your transfers. You only got 25. You got 25 spots as like incoming freshmen, and he's already got 17. And signing day is not until next February.
There's a term called flip the script.
Yeah,
all them commits ain't coming, and that's kind of what I'm seeing. Is a lot of these guys, they just offering kids committing. I just saw the kid from Los Alamitos High School out here, SC commit, took an A&M trip after the commit.
Oh, you talking about Malachi Nelson?
Yeah,
talking about Malachi Nelson.
And
you know what went down on that
they
trip?
Said it was good too.
I'm pretty sure.
Dropped a bag.
There's a nice bag for you.
Type of bag to make the table shake.
Man, there've been a.
But hey,
been one of them
it could be like Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor said Georgia gave him $50,000. He said he took the bag, still went to Florida.
That's the Cam Newton. Cam Newton got a brand new church and flipped on Mississippi State. End up going to Auburn. It's like, hey man, appreciate the gesture, but I'm going to Auburn.
But a big thing I've been thinking about and talking to a couple buddies of mine down here with I feel like Big Tank Donovan. I feel like some kids, like if they get that hype, I feel like they'll commit quick just to be able to get it off of them a little bit. To have like Arch Manning, I honestly do not see him going to Texas. I feel like he picked Texas just to get it off of him. I don't know. I feel like he's gonna end up. I don't know. I feel like he's gonna end up flipping. I feel like it's gonna be something crazy.
I've got to disagree with you. I think Arch is all in with Texas, and I said it from the beginning. With Steve Sarkisian being there, the only way he flips is if Sark is gone at the end of this year. If something drastic happens at Texas and they get rid of Sark, he'll flip. But they know the only way to get Arch on campus is keeping Sark on campus. So they're not going. They're about to hold him there at least until Arch gets on campus. Because I mean, you got to think about it. Sark is such a offensive mind, and he comes from such a, talented family. Obviously, some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in the NFL are his uncles. So, when you have to think about because they're in Cooper's head, talking about, hey, Sark is an offensive genius and can get him to where he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like he's all in with Texas. So
I got a proposition, because I do have a place in my heart for the LSU Tigers. I would love to see Arch Manning go to LSU. I would love to see him do a Joe Burrow, go down there with all them athletes and just throw the ball around the yard. I don't trust Steve Sarkisian like that. I'm not even sure why the Mannings trust Steve Sarkisian like that, or Lane Kiffin. Anybody that was at SC for a moment, including Tricky Pete Carroll, all them guys. Let's really look at the track record. Who's the real quarterback whisperer? Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
Arch Manning. I don't like to hate on kids. They're kids. I think all kids have potential. They'll be great, but let's not put too much sugar on this. Too much sugar in the Kool-Aid makes it bad for your teeth. And too much mustard on a hot dog makes it not a hot dog. Arch Manning is a good quarterback. But Malachi Nelson, Nico Iamavela, they're way better than Arch Manning. So I hope he because he's going down there with is it yours down there, and then the big
Yeah.
kid from Long Beach, from
Yep.
Gardena Sarah. They got some
Mhm.
guys on the roster. That quarterback room is going to be thick,
I
and he's
like Dante. I like Dante
Wait.
Moore a lot.
yeah. That
Going
quarterback
him
room going to
going
be crazy, man.
yeah, it is.
It's gonna. I mean, they're gonna spoon feed him, and other guys gotta leave. I think if they're gonna have a competition, he ain't gonna win it. It's going if it's a legitimate competition, they all got NIL deals. Because when it comes down to it, I mean, I was a free agent when I played football, and I was behind 2 draft picks, Ty Howard from Ohio State and Tom Knight from Iowa, first and third rounders. I'm a free agent. I outplayed those guys in camp. I got cut. That's just how it works, man. You get a kid the biggest bag, he gonna play, and that's just how it is. It's an investment, man. So we'll see, man. But I would love to see Arch go to LSU and do a Joe Burrow. Wasn't that the best season? I mean, I'm not even like I said, I'm a distant LSU Tiger. And when y'all play at the house and y'all had all them receivers, oh my God, man, that was a beautiful time. OBJ handing out $100 bills on the field. That was a beautiful time, man.
That man was
Hey,
He handed them
that,
out.
that
He
boy
handed out the dollars on the
sheets
field.
in the wind, bro. He was.
That was
But
gangster.
what made it so much better is being able to see it in person. Like me and Shane, we were at the Florida game, sold out. I'm talking about just
Man.
absolute roaring, and LSU started pulling away, and they started doing the Gator chomp around it. It just gave me
Oh
chills.
man.
Then we went
Dang.
to the Auburn game, and if it's just me and Shane, we get the perfect seats for my cousin, but I'm talking about it gets to a point where Shane's like, look, you're talking enough. You're talking too much smack. If something happens, bro, you're on your own.
You got to knuckle up down here, man. It's real.
But,
hey,
man,
You gotta-
2018 is one of my favorite memories. We went to is when we played Georgia, and that's when Jake Fromm and Justin Fields were there, and we were 13, they were 2, and we win 36-16, and like the student section, everybody like rushed the field and stuff. Like it was. It's so hard to explain how it feels to be in Tiger Stadium, especially on a Saturday night. Like when that Garth Brooks kicks on calling Baton Rouge, that's when like heartbeat gets to 100.
I just got goosebumps when you said it, bro. I swear to God, I just got goosebumps when he said it.
I love it, and it's one of those things you have to experience. I met Matt Berry. He's covered a lot of college game days. I met him here at my school, and I asked him, I was like, look, I need to know what was one of your favorite like college atmospheres? And he told me a few. He told me LSU and Alabama when we went into overtime. And he said Tiger Stadium was just absolutely phenomenal. He said you can't explain it. Like you have to be there to witness it firsthand. And I haven't had the opportunity to go to a different stadium, like SEC Stadium or anything, but I'm hoping to try to catch one in Florida this year just to see if the same energy and vibe is like thrown out like across the stadium and stuff like that.
That's one stadium that you can see from the television broadcast that is rocking down there. Like I played in the Big House, UCLA versus Michigan when they had Charles Woodson. It was rocking. But the Big House is so wide open, it's not intimidating. We played in Nebraska where the fans are like 15 feet away from you, calling you all kind of things except for the child of God on the sideline. That was pretty intense. We played in Knoxville versus Peyton Manning down there, and they were throwing Jack Daniel bottles at us and oranges on us on the field.
I wouldn't know
that was pretty crazy. But the one stadium, regardless of college football, pro, whatever, that really, really scared me was Kansas City, the Kansas City Chiefs. I have never seen nothing like that in my life. When they did the national anthem and it got to the end and they said, they said Chiefs. I was ready to just pack it up and go home. They didn't even say home of the Braves. They said home of the Chiefs. And I was like, what in the world is going on up in here? I mean, that was a crazy environment, but that would be a good topic for all the big dogs on the Sports Empire, Big Dogs on Campus show. We're going to have to get that topic going. Best college football atmosphere. Me being a UCLA Bruin, the Rose Bowl it's pretty cool when it's packed. We ain't had a packed crowd in like 10 years. We struggling over here. We got too much going on in LA. People go to the beach. People going to Sky Zone playing indoor basketball on trampolines. We got too much to do down here, man. So guys ain't going to the game. We watching the game on TV, blackout dates. And now we got the SoFi Stadium with the Rams winning the Super Bowl. So now ain't nobody going to UCLA games. SC might get some buzz. They got Lincoln Riley and a bunch of 5-star recruits. We'll see how they do. Lincoln Riley's on the hot seat already. All that money they gave him, they're going to have to produce down there.
He's going to bring in recruits and he can develop quarterbacks, but choking in the playoffs is his specialty.
Well, sidebar topic. How's SC and UCLA going to fare in the Big Ten next year? I mean, this year we're going to be finding out here in the week Pac-12. I'm going to say week. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm big dog enough to say it. We've been tripping. We letting all our quarterbacks go to the SEC. All our big dogs go to the SEC. We got to get some more pride on the West Coast, man. We've been letting guys go. We got to let guys go. All right, man. Topic number 3, man. Your dark horse program. Who's going to surprise some folks this year in college football?
Oh, I'll go first. So I don't know if you would actually consider them a dark horse because, I mean, everybody can see that they're on the uprise. And I don't like them at all. I hate their fans. Their fans are the worst. Like you said, they were throwing Jack Daniel bottles at y'all. The Tennessee Volunteers, man. To say, I mean, granted, they're getting a good draw in the East, with the East being weaker than it normally is. Georgia is obviously not as scary as they were last year. Florida's in the rebuilding stage. And Tennessee just looks like with Shane Heupel over there, looks like they have the pieces to really compete in the East for sure. And I want to say, was that Ryan Clark I seen made a prediction the other day and I want to say they had Tennessee at 10-2, losing only to Bama and LSU back to back weeks. And I really I'm here for the hype of for Tennessee. I just feel like they bought into the program and they're ready to play ball. I really am. I'm scared of that game. I'm not even gonna lie. As an LSU fan, I'm scared of that game.
Hold on. Big dogs don't use the word scared. If you scared, big dogs jump off the porch.
I'm nervous about that game. Let's say that. We gonna come to play, but I'm nervous. I'm nervous about the outcome of that game.
Big dog's getting a little bit not sure about it. He was barking a little louder, but now he's like, hey. Oh man, who's your dark horse? Who you got, Big Cam?
I'm gonna have to go with, and as crazy enough, I'm saying in the SEC as well. I'm gonna have to go with Ole Miss. They got Jackson Dart. I feel like he's gonna fit really good in Lane Kiffin's offense. And if Zach Evans could get his head straight, he's a phenomenal athlete. 5-star coming out of high school. He went to TCU. He's struggled in high school. He has an attitude problem. He has I don't know if it's just like ego or something, but if Lane Kiffin can get him in check, just get him on the right mental path, I feel like Ole Miss is going to be really good because Lane Kiffin, he's not a bad coach. He coached underneath Saban, and we see how many coaches have been successful underneath Saban. He's turning Ole Miss around. He did a lot of good things with Matt Corral. They had a really good season last year, I believe, and I think Jackson Dart and Zach Evans, and I thought they got a wide receiver. I'm not too sure who the transfer was, but I got to go with Ole Miss. I feel like Lane Kiffin's got something special. You can ask Shane. I was big on Lane Kiffin coming to LSU for a minute, and I have nothing but respect for Lane, and so I feel like he's got something boiling pretty special over in Oxford.
Who's the genius, Lane Kiffin or Sarkisian? They both came from the little Nick Saban tree.
Both of them got it, but if I had to pick one, I'd go with Sark.
I worked out with Sark when he's coming out of BYU. When we were at UCLA, we worked out together. Sark was a good quarterback. What is it about Sark? Because he keeps getting opportunities. I'm glad he got his alcohol problem behind him.
I was just going to say that, the bottle.
Yeah. He hit the bottom. Now he's probably laser focused. Is that it? You got to hit rock bottom to get a resurgence in your craft, your play calling.
I feel like he needed to realize almost losing it to be like, all right, flipping the switch, got it. Like, I have to keep it because, yeah, he was great at Bama. But if the only publicity coming off is, oh, Sarkisian showing up to practice drunk again, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Saban, I know Saban probably brought him into the room and was like, look, this does not happen at Alabama, and I'm not going to have it.
You can't say that, though, because I mean, you get 5 or 6 players arrested per semester in Alabama, so that seems to be a trend up there.
That's a talent, though.
Right? I gotta retract it. You right?
But that's the talent. The talent can get away with some stuff.
Yes.
If you part of the leadership, you got to be held to a higher standard.
But if you're letting your leadership dangle and your players see it, they're going to think they can get away with a lot more. So it always starts at the top. And I feel like we're going to truly see how Texas really is when they enter the SEC. And I'm ready for that.
This is the first year, huh? This is the first year for Texas and Oklahoma in the SEC.
2025.
Oh, they're not going this.
They'll end up coming soon. It'll probably be 23 or 24.
I thought it was this year.
As of right now, it's 2025. That's the agreement.
Hopefully they hire some defensive coordinators that's going to play some defense. I believe the Big 12 been playing Big Brother defense for the last 10 years. They don't play no defense in the Big 12. It's like a gentleman's agreement. Hey, we going to score 50. All right, well, we're going to score 60. Has anybody played defense in the Big 12?
So I got a question for y'all because it happened over the past few days since we're talking about the teams coming into the SEC. What are y'all's thoughts on the Oklahoma situation with the statement that Venables came out about their coach Gundy, like out of nowhere resigning and stuff like that?
It's fishy. Go ahead, Shane.
I read a little bit on that and I didn't get what I was looking for when I was reading that. He said that they were in a meeting and one of his players wasn't paying attention and was on a tablet or iPad or something like that and was texting somebody. And so he went and grabbed the iPad or whatever and read the messages out and said an inappropriate word. I'm not sure. I could assume I know what it is, but at the same time, it never said anything. So he said he read it off the iPad with like no thought to it. He just read it straight up. And then once he read it, he realized he was wrong and whatever. And then all of a sudden, Venables, apparently his granddaughter, Gundy's granddaughter, posted on Twitter talking about the truth set you free or something like that. Like just kind of, I don't even know, just kind of throw some dust up. But apparently Venables was like, told the players, hey, chill out. It was just kind of sweeping under the rug, and all of a sudden, I guess the wrong person found out. I was like, oh, he's gone. He resigned. Like that's, I tried reading up on it, but it was never, I don't think they're going to put the exact word. I like I said, I could assume, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that whole situation is wild.
I was scrolling on Twitter and I saw Gundy's post and I was like, like that's something, like, especially like Venables, he's going in his first time being a head coach with Oklahoma. Like that's not something you want to see. And but I don't want to assume, but I'm pretty sure we know like what he read. And that's never a good situation for anybody. Now you got to think, because was he the offensive coordinator?
He was
Or
a
was he?
receiver coach.
No, he was a senior
Receiver
assistant.
coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for 20 years though.
That's okay. So that's where I'm about to go. Like he has produced talent. What do you do then? Who do you go and get, or do you just appoint like another like a different coach up there, or like I don't, because of what they've been doing for, like you said, 20 years. Is that gonna affect long term with Venable's new coaching staff and his new team at Oklahoma?
Yeah, I think it will have an impact, but at the same time, in the temperature and the climate of social justice in America, he has to know better. Even if you're reading, even if you're quoting, even if you're singing a song,
You
it's
got to be
just make
smart.
sure you got to know who you're dealing with. Even if it was the N word, and we know the receiver room is mixed between black and white players. And if you have a word that might be offensive to your players, you got to have a little bit more caution.
Yeah.
Even if the people in the room are like, yeah, we understand he was just reading the iPad. But that one person, you said it was Venable's granddaughter? Ooh,
No,
that's
no.
It was Gundy's granddaughter.
Tweeted back at Venable's statement on social media and was
so
basically calling him out, saying like the whole truth isn't being let out, and like
It'll
just
come to the light, stuff like that.
trying to get justice for her grandfather.
So we don't even know the
but like you said, you're at that high level. You've been coaching for years. You know that society is on a different foot. You got to be smarter.
And I believe the coaches and receiver relationship is one that is of trust.
Yes.
I would not have been offended if my coach grabbed my iPad because I'm on the side doing something that's not football related. Because you've all been in class when you were little and you had notes, and someone grab your note and read it out loud. And that moment, we don't know what happened after he said it. He could have made a teachable moment.
Mm-hmm.
I hate this word with the passion to my soul, to my core. This word is so dividing. And I don't want you to use it. And we don't know if that's what happened.
Right.
But at this point, we'll never know. But, it's sad. But, hey, that's the world we live in. And now he has to, will he hire me? He hired again. I mean, he's a great coach, great recruiter, and he develops talent. But, I'm a receiver coach right now, and it's not like it's rocket science. If you can find a way to have relationships with people, young kids that have talent, and you let them, play their game to a certain level, and you instill some discipline and some technique, you continue to develop talent. So whoever they bring in there was going to have a plethora of receivers to work with, and they'll have a solid receiving core, and most likely find the next great, Coach Cale Gundy. Speaking of Gundy's, one of my favorite coaches in the Big 12 was Gundy. He says, "I'm a man. I'm 40." That's what comes to mind when you said Gundy or Gundy. I was like, what about Gundy? Is it Gundy?
That's his brother.
It's his brother, Gundy.
That's his brother. Yep.
His brother gave him a job at Oklahoma State, right?
That's exactly what I was thinking. He's been at Oklahoma since '99. That's what I was looking up because I knew he had been there for a while, but he had a stint in '94 as a GA, then went to UAB for a few years.
Yeah.
And has been at Oklahoma ever since as OC, running backs coach, assistant head coach. He's had a lot of roles over there. So
yeah, that's where you land. You go to family, man. That's where you go when you have a little situation. You go back to family.
But does he want to take on that controversy and then like, oh, he's only doing it? He's not like, because that's going to follow.
Oh yeah.
I think
man,
the media is like they're always going to look for a new story, and I think it's because of like how my school has got my mindset now of like kind of like analyzing it. Like that's the first thing that like popped into my head. Like are they going to jump on his brother and be like, oh, the only reason you gave him a job is because his family and you want to help him out through what he did at Oklahoma and blah blah blah. Because like somebody's gonna try to pull that card.
Oh yeah, but let's be honest about it. Everywhere we go is two sides of the spectrum. Either
Yeah.
you super woke or you the other way. So I mean, it's really hypocritical to kind of throw this guy to the dungeon where he never gets to work ever again for reading what's on the iPad. Now, if he's really had a problem, he wouldn't be coaching football. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot, like, those days are gone. You have to find a way to have love for everybody if you're going to be a football coach, because you got to deal with every walk of life. And the only way you're going to be effective with these young men is to empathize with them, to understand where they come from. How do you recruit a kid from the South that might be African American, and you ain't went down there to the Baptist church and got down with the get down and told mama, I'm going to take care of your boy when he comes to play for me at Oklahoma? It has to be some type of relationship that he's fostered with these families. So I believe there's something there. I don't think he's beyond reprove. I think he's redeemable, if that's the word I want to use.
Yeah.
Like I said, he made a mistake. I think he deserves a second chance, and that's coming from me. A one that doesn't tolerate any forms of disrespect and racist activity. But like I said, he read an iPad. It ain't like he was giving a rant and it just came off the top of his tongue, like
Right.
Somebody down south that would call you everything from boy to whatever they want to call you. But let's see what happens. But I think hiding underneath his brother's staff are probably the best bet. I mean, put him somewhere where he's not out in the open. Put him up in the booth, or hide him behind as a consultant. But keep him in the game. He'll get his name back in about 2 or 3 years and be able to surface. I never gave my dark horse programs, man. For me, I'm gonna go with the Arizona Wildcats out here in the West. They brought in some top tier talent. There's a kid out here named T Mac who's going to be a freshman wide receiver, was the best receiver on the West Coast, one of the top receivers in the country. He's going to start as a true freshman. They brought in a couple quarterbacks, and I like what they're doing down there. Great new staff. My boy Johnny Nansen, the D coordinator. They're going to be pretty good. I also like the Yukon Huskies with Jim Mora up there in the East. I was actually born in Connecticut, so I have a little love for Yukon. They're not going to make big noise, but they're going to be better than they've been in a long time. And my HBCU dark horse will be the Grambling State Tigers with Hugh Jackson at the head coach. They've got some kids that even came out to the West Coast. They actually recruited my son. We'll see what happens. I used to be a big time Grambling State fan. When I got my first letter from Grambling State and Eddie Robinson, I was like, this is it. And then I realized how hot it is in Louisiana. I'm like, let me think about this.
Oh yeah.
Let me think about this. 70 degrees, ocean breeze, UCLA, or Grambling State, 110, humid, 4 baths a day, 4 showers a day in ice tub.
It is, man.
That's real. That's real.
If we're doing HBCU
real,
dark horse, I'm going. I got to go Southern. I got to meet a lot of the athletes there when I was working there during COVID and stuff like that. And so I got to meet a bunch of them. Actually, one of the dudes I met, he was a long snapper at Southern. He just went to Jackson State. So that's pretty cool being able to know somebody over there. But the ties with Southern, man, we've known a couple people to go through Southern. So I'm always going to have to pick them. And LSU and Southern play each other. That's LSU's first home game. So Baton Rouge is going to be
a charitable game. It's their charitable give back Sankofa game. We can help.
I just want to see Southern's band. That's it,
bro.
That's it.
That's it.
LSU band not even be in the stadium.
No.
LSU's band better not even be in the stadium.
Hey, don't trip. UCLA scheduled Alabama State, and they come into town, and everybody on the West Coast like, yo, Bama State bringing their band. I'm like, what? So me and my boys trying to go to the game because he's like,
hey, I'm telling you,
we're tired of seeing UCLA's band. We're gonna win. We're gonna win. UCLA win. You see, we're like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I want to see Alabama State coming here with the never duplicated, always imitated band from the South. ball, ball.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I'm ready, baby.
Hey,
I'm ready. Bring them tubas. Bring them
Baton
tubas.
Rouge is gonna be absolutely live that week. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be the biggest tailgate party you've ever seen in your life, and I'm there for it. I'm telling you, I'm there for it. I'm gonna be on campus, maybe
You ain't gonna
Friday
watch the
night.
game. Y'all gonna be so.
I'm gonna drive from Florida just for that game. Like I said, I don't even want to go in the stadium. I'll watch the game on my phone. You gonna be halfway down I-10 and still hear them just.
Bro, it's gonna be
Ain't nothing like
be
it, man.
crazy.
All right, man. Let's go through the top. We got time for the top 10, maybe top 20, maybe. Preseason rankings, man. Bama number 1. We good. Everybody good with Alabama being number 1.
Definitely.
Yep.
Ohio State number 2. Georgia number 3. Clemson number 4. Notre Dame at number 5. Is that surprising to y'all?
I'm gonna go ahead. Clemson and Notre Dame are both situations I wanna monitor. Like last year, don't get me wrong. I'm sure you like him, DJ Ukulele or however you say his name. I don't really know how to say his name. Hey, kid's a stud. I wanted him in Baton Rouge. He just didn't look comfortable last year. I mean, they did have a lot of injuries. I think their whole offensive line was down at one point.
Yep.
They lost Justin Ross couldn't stay healthy. And then so he was relying on his best receiver last year, correct me if I'm wrong, was a true freshman. So I mean I understand he was I mean, it wasn't the best situation last year, but man, he just didn't look that comfortable. I mean, he looked really good the year he came in and played a little bit under Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
But then last year he just as a full-time starter just didn't look that great. But I mean, maybe with a fully healthy roster, he could prove us wrong. Notre Dame, I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank on the coach. Oh my goodness, we tried getting him.
Marcus Freeman.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman. Hey, I'm a fan of Marcus Freeman. I wanted him to come. Yeah, he was the DC. Now he's the head coach over there. Just kind of promoted him, but everybody knew that was going to happen when BK left. I'm I like Marcus Freeman, but I'm not going to say that they're a top 5 program right now. Can't.
His first game head coaching Notre Dame, they blew the lead in their bowl game, and everybody like halftime they were up and they were like, yeah, like this was the best decision. Brian Kelly, yada yada, and then all their fans when they blew the lead and lost the game were like, oh my God, get him out, blah blah blah. So it's just the atmosphere there is toxic and horrible. So I don't know. I need to see Dabo do what he does every year now, even though he doesn't have his offensive coordinator or defense coordinator now. Like he doesn't have Venables anymore. And I just don't think Dabo can do it without Venables. I don't think it's going to be the same. And they're going to be productive like they always are. But I feel like their defense is going to take a drastic drop because Venables isn't there.
Yeah. I mean, these coordinators are basically the coach. If you've been on the practice field and you watch the head coach operate, ain't too many Dan Campbells up there in Detroit Lionville where he's actually involved in every single position, acting like he's, still part of the team. Most coaches are delegators, and they are relationship makers and deal closers. And then their offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator are basically coaching their side of the ball as a head coach. And that's what good coaches want. They want leaders on their staff to want to be head coaches. And that's what the good ones do. You look at the NFL, those coaching trees, same thing in college. They want these guys to go out and branch out, and it makes the brand look good. Now that the team suffer a little bit when there's a different voice in the room, yeah, big drop off. But I think, you got to prove that you were once that offensive coordinator. Most of these head coaches used to be something to a high level, whether it be a defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator. And I think it is a test of do you still have teeth in this game? Can you still coach now that there's a different generation? Because this generation is a little bit soft. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It was the Big Dog Sports, Big Dogs on Campus on the Sports Empire Network. We don't cut no corners. We don't put no extras on it. These kids today are soft when it comes to competition.
They don't want to compete anymore.
Yeah, it's the participation trophy generation. Everybody gets a trophy, and coaches got to find a way to relate to these kids without them getting their feelings hurt and them transferring because I'm not getting.
And now you have to be able to present that bag to them too.
Oh man, like, well that's what those.
Oh, you don't want me to play, or you don't want me to start? All right, bet. They already said they're going to give me 2 Cadillacs, a house, an in-ground pool, and all the Raising Canes I want. So I'm gonna go this direction. Like it's gonna come down to we're gonna be watching basically the G League version of the NFL before the NFL.
Hey man, Nico Amavela getting $8 million to play at Tennessee. I might play the whole 4 years. Get that 8.
What?
I think he's gonna get. He's getting $2 million. He's getting $2 million a year. Play college football.
That's
no
crazy.
Pressure.
That's
no national championship pressure. Just play
at
well.
All. None.
Just play it well. Just sell some tickets. Just sell some tickets.
Just go pad your stats. That's it. Just make your draft stock. Just keep going.
Just throw it around the yard. Just throw it around the yard a little bit. Sell some tickets.
We're gonna make a list of these are the only bowl games. Nothing higher, maybe lower. But this is your section of bowl games.
Tennessee is already must-watch TV. Number 8, black uniforms, orange letters. Everybody's going to want to see this new talent. All right, man, we got time for one more segment. Hey, best and worst mascots. This is the Big Dogs on Campus podcast on the Sports Empire Network. Hey, let's have a little fun right here. Hey, what's your best mascot? What's the worst mascot?
All right, so off the rip.
Good news first, bad news. The good news or the bad news first?
Bad news. Bad news. Because I feel
bad news. What's the worst mascot? Going into college football season 2022, who's the worst mascot, Big Cam?
Clemson. They're I don't know if their mascot got a hold of some
that tiger high as hell.
Bro. Their tiger has got to be the worst design I've ever He's got like a really small head, big old beady eyes, like a dog snout, bro.
I'm telling you.
It's got to be the worst mascot I've ever laid eyes on. And Stanford has a tree. They have a fern, and it's better than them. They have a tree, and it's better than this. I don't even want to call it a tiger. I don't know. It's missing something, man. But my preference in the best, I gotta go tiger. I gotta go Mike the Tiger. I gotta be biased, man. I love it. It's phenomenal, especially how he interacts with fans in Tiger Stadium. Like the student section will like carry him, like crowd surfing all the way up to the top of the stadium, and he'll go around and you see him like interacting with the fans and stuff. And I love it. It's awesome.
Didn't y'all used to have a real tiger?
So yeah, before PETA came in, before every game, we would put Mike the Tiger, the actual Mike the Tiger, in a cage, this big old cage, and cheerleaders would ride on top, and they would just bring him around, and you would hear him roar all through the stadium. But yeah, PETA came through and was like, "Yes, inhumane."
But PETA came and shut that down.
Yeah,
they said it wasn't his habitat.
Something like that.
He's not happy in that cage. He needs to be running free in the bayou. The bayou Bengal free.
But so
the Stanford Cardinals get the gas face.
No, Clemson.
Clemson Tiger.
Clemson Tigers mascot.
I'm telling you, every time he says that, the moment you sent the like the topics, and I seen best worst mascots, the first thing that came to mind was 2014 NCAA football game. They would show that Clemson Tiger, and bro, his eyes are like bigger than his head, and it's just. But I do have to go with Stanford. Stanford's definitely the worst. Like you're in a tree costume. like how like what is really going on? As for the best, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with Oregon. Oregon's mascot is always alive. Like you always see videos of him doing backflips and cartwheels, and then the Ducks always wearing the nice uniform. So, I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Oregon.
Hold on, that futuristic duck they came out with a few years ago that came out the egg. That was I didn't know who had that design because that was that Terminator looking. It was all swole.
I Am Legend egg. The
Right.
I Am Legend got the
That's
old Men in Black Howard the Duck futuristic.
I don't know.
Oh man, that's hilarious. I'm gonna have to. We need some visuals. We're gonna get our producers next time and give us some visuals of the futuristic duck from the future for the angry. Because I came from a different era when Oregon was a joke. When they had them canary yellow uniforms and that little duck and a little fighting duck, it looked like Donald Duck from Disney. And I'm like, man, how you gonna play for a team called the Ducks? But then again, they had the Rainbow Warriors in Hawaii, so I was like, hey, my mascot, worst mascot. As I'm looking around, first of all, honorable mention, worst mascot. I'm gonna say the Ohio State Buckeye. What is that? Is that a piece of boo-boo on top of a man's head? Like, what is that? Is that?
He looks Amish. He looks Amish to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm literally looking at it right now.
Brutus. Yeah, he's pretty odd. Like, what is a Buckeye anyway? But worst
idea.
for me is got to be Dartmouth. Dartmouth. It's a keg of beer. It's a silver keg with a spout on top at the football game. And this is supposed to be the Ivy League's best.
This could have been my high school that I graduated from's mascot. And Shane can vouch for me.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
This definitely could have been.
We came to get lit. I don't care about this football game.
Yeah, we don't
came
care.
to get lit. This tailgate.
His name is
at my number.
His name is Keggy the Keg.
Wow.
Keggy the Keg.
Keggy the Keg.
Dartmouth.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now I can say an honorable mention for me is going to be Western Kentucky. It looks like the red version of the purple guy from McDonald's.
Yeah, he looks like a drop of blood, right?
He does.
He looks like a menstrual cycle. He looks like the monthly.
It's either him or Kansas State. It looks like a football player with just the mascot head on him. Like he's got regular arms. He's just in a regular uniform, and it looks like
bad ones out there, man. There's some bad ones out there.
His face is swole up.
Who's in these meetings to design their mascot? Like, I know what our mascot's going to be: a tree, and they signed off on it.
Okay,
we're going to be the Stanford Cardinal. The Cardinals as the bird? No, the tree. What? I thought you guys were smart.
Yeah, the tree that he sits on.
We're very smart. If our mascot's not a person, place, or thing that can move and run, we have nothing to live up to. No standard.
It's a good conversation piece. Like, it gets people to talk about him. So, I mean, I understand it.
No.
They smart places, man. You got Dartmouth with a keg, Stanford with the tree. How smart are they? They're not very smart. Hey, we wrap this thing up. My number one mascot. I'm going to UCLA Bruins. I'm a homer. Let's go, Bruins. It's a baby Bruin. Matter of fact, we got the weakest looking Bruin. We got the weakest looking bear. He don't scare no kids. He don't scare. I mean, we gotta toughen this thing up going to the Big Ten, man. We're gonna have to bring a real bear, put him in the cage, no, we're not gonna put him. Well, that went very bad with Buffalo. Colorado Buffaloes brought that Buffalo out, and I think he turned on the schooner that turned over.
Yeah.
You get a little tricky with the live animal.
Texas's Longhorn tried it charged that the Georgia Bulldogs is dog.
Yeah. And
And so
what's
they
the
had
big
to pick
dog?
him up, like, and
The
run
big
with
dogs
him.
on
Yeah,
campus. And
yeah, showing him he the big dog there. Yeah,
yeah. I thought they got a pit bull and a Roddy as our mascot. The little bulldogs, they can't hold their own. We're gonna
Yes,
get a
sir.
Cane Corso as our mascot. And my honorable mention, man, I like Sparty up in Michigan State, and I love the U, the duck from the U. What's his name? Is it Ibris? I think his name is Ibis
Ooh, I have no
from the
idea.
U. All right, man. That's our time, man. This is the Big Dogs on Campus show on the Sports Empire Network. That's Big Shane. That's Big Cam. I'm Big Cobby. And I'll be changing my name every week, man. I'm Big AC. But I'm Big Cobby today because it's our kickoff show, man. We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us, man.
Yes, sir.
Every Saturday morning. Times might fluctuate a little bit because football season changes. Sometimes we got early games, sometimes we got afternoon games, but make sure you check the Sports Empire Network for our times. Saturday morning, getting you guys going for this Saturday morning, man. I don't know if we have any games today, but I know we have some games starting next week. So we appreciate y'all. Any words on the way out, Big Shane?
I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Continue to support. Again, it's
Okay.
Big Dogs on Campus with the Sports Empire Network.
Yes, sir. Big Cam.
Hey, I'm just gonna piggyback up off them. We appreciate y'all tuning in. It's gonna be a great thing, and I'm gonna end it out on this. Go Tigers, baby.
Oh, don't do it to us. Don't do it to us. As the Big Dogs on Campus show, man. Appreciate y'all. We out, man. Till next time.
Sir.
Ho, ho, ho,
Deuces.
ho.